What up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to check out the other Boss 200 series effects pedal, and this time it's the EQ 200. Now at the moment I have it in the front of my amp because I've actually been using the GE7 in front as a pre-equalization for my 7-string and 8-string guitars for the past, what, 15, 16 years? So basically the premise is that you cut a little bit of the lower mids and the low end, only by the tiniest little amount, boost the volume up a little bit, and it just really tightens up nearly every amp that I've put it through. Basically, because amps are generally made for 6-string guitars, you just kind of have to EQ the guitar a little bit to get rid of that 7th string roundness. I know that anyone that plays a 7-string will know exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, anyway, the EQ 200, it's a completely programmable EQ. It's got a nice screen on here, a bunch of different frequencies and a level as well. And you can store your different presets. Now, I do have it in front of the amp right now, but I'm also going to try it in the effects loop, which is where it will make a lot more difference to the tonal quality of the sound. So as with the OD200, it is completely programmable. You can save your presets inside, which you can save up to 4. You have the ability to use MIDI through their custom cable from Boss. It's also, this particular model is stereo, so you can have it for a stereo setup, or you could even use it in your studio somehow if you wanted to use an external EQ. There's also a way to control it. There's control out from the back, so you can control the EQ further. I'm guessing that you can probably assign a foot switch to do certain frequency bands up and down, maybe. I actually haven't read the manual, so I can't tell you that. Maybe I should read the manual right now. What do you reckon? So yeah, you can do 2 different EQs for left and right as well. So you could have, no, you couldn't have, yeah, you could. You could have one EQ in the front of the amp and also an EQ through the effects loop. I've got my 7-string prototype Catsy here from Mayonnaise Guitars with bare knuckle pickups in it, nail bomb in the bridge and a cold sweat in the neck. And the nail bomb actually looks fairly high in comparison to usual. And that's going directly into the the EQ 200, into the Ampy AES Studio, and then I'm going through the Driftwood Purple Nightmare, which is very, very loud right now. Which is going into the WAZA Craft by Boss tube amp expander to sort of cut down the volume so it doesn't kill me. But the Driftwood is truly set to stun right now. And that's going through a Coffee Custom Cab 2x12, mic'd up on the H75 speaker rather than the V30, with an SE Electronics Voodoo VR1 ribbon mic going into an Audient ASP A80 preamp, into an Orion 32 Plus Gen 3 sound card, through an Audient Nero monitor controller into a Zoom H6. So this is with the EQ turned off. And now I'm going to do what I would usually do with an EQ, which is cut a tiny little bit of the bottom end to about 200 hertz, literally the tiniest little amount, and boost the volume. So you have something looking like that. The gain's already fairly high on this amp, so maybe I don't have to boost the volume, but then that means you can turn down the gain, get a little bit more clarity, so I'll do that in a second. So then if we turn the EQ off, versus It gets rid of those lower mids, which on a 7-string and an 8-string is going to interfere with the clarity of the bass, because it's kind of it's sort of starting to interfere with those frequencies. So here it makes the bottom end more controlled and makes the mid range of the amp more cutty. Just going to turn down the gain a little bit. In fact, actually, I'm going to put it in low gain mode to make sure that we're not affected by the gate, the Driftwood built-in gate. Okay, now the EQ on. Might even turn down the gain a little bit more. And if you want a little bit more attack as well, you can always boost 1.6, which it is on here as well. Yeah, perfect. So just boost that the tiniest little amount. So yeah, that's kind of the thing that you can do. Pre-EQ, and if you wanted like to use it for solos or something, you could even boost the mid-range. Let's just do something crazy like that. It's one of those things where outside of the mix of everything else like drums and bass, it just probably makes it sound like your guitar is a little bit weaker in the bottom end, when in actuality it's just going to make everything gel a lot more easier in a band environment. So anyway, I'm going to try it in the loop now, because why not? So now I have this in the loop of the tube expander. Yeah, makes it easier than going around the back. Let's just do it. So this is no pedal right now. So let's just do the smiley face thing, the, you know, Metallica. I'm kind of interested in seeing what it sounds like. Maybe something like that. I'm guessing that all of you guys get as confused with parallel versus serial loops as well. Well, it definitely works. Now I just need to flick the switch the other way. So maybe we could do something like that. So basically now what I have is a mid boost, which would work quite well for solo. So say I was just, you know, jamming away, doing. Now it's time to crack into a solo. Let's have a little bit of delay verb and that EQ. Etc. If we turn the effects off, then this is what it sounds like with just the boost. Etc. You get the idea. So with the EQ, it works really well in front of the amp. It works really well to tailor your tone to a different way in the back of the amp as well. Now, obviously, it's really easy to completely screw up your sound with this thing. After all, you are playing with the frequencies of the amp. And obviously, any EQ you do, if you're subtracting it, it's going to make the original source sound a little bit smaller. So bear that in mind. It should be minute movements in the front or the rear of the amp, basically. But a very good customizable tool to customize your sound to however you see fit. And if something like this would work perfect for a one-channel amp. So say you set up your amp, you've got a good clean sound, you've got a distorted pedal for your rhythm sound, and when it comes to guitar solos, you have, you know, you delay, your reverb and all that sort of stuff, but you kind of want a little bit more mid-range girth, let's say, then something like this would be really, really good for that. So anyway, yeah, that is the EQ200 from Boss. It's a very customizable, very useful tool. Comes in at just over £200 again, and I've been using the GE7 for 15 years, and it's an amazing EQ that does exactly what it needs to. And the EQ200 is equally as good, except that you can store presets for different situations. So if you like what you hear, then please subscribe, please throw us a like on the video, comment below what you think of the EQ200 or anything that you'd like me to try in the future. You can even dislike the video if you want. It's all good, I get it. In the meantime, have a very, very good day. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.